Good morning, Julie. What do you have for me today?
Sean, today we're going to be talking about water-wise plants. I've got a whole lot of plants today that I'm going to show you that make interesting combinations with textures and colors, but are water-wise. We're in a drought at the moment, and it's great when we can plant plants that don't need a lot of water. So have a look at what I've got here today. Aloes have become very fashionable in the last few years, and they've developed a whole lot of hybrid aloes which really flower very well. I planted some of these in December and they were still flowering 6 months later. I couldn't believe it. But these are the low types. This is Little Joker, this is Orange Express. There's quite a whole lot of different ones that they've developed, and they multiply and stay low and make little babies, and then you get all these flowers coming up. So they're really worth using in the garden. But what we're trying to do is create some color using the foliage, because they don't all have flowers. So this one is a winner. It's Euphorbia turricale, the fire sticks. We use that for a tall plant. You must cut it, otherwise it becomes top heavy, but you can let it go tall. And then that gives you that bright orange. The only thing to watch with it is this milky sap, which really hurts the eyes if it gets in your eyes. So then we can contrast that with some grey foliage and some green. So this one is also one of my favorites. It's a lower bushy plant which will sort of hang over a retaining wall, or not hang over but sort of grow over, and good on a bank, and that will contrast with the orange. And then you can bring in some greens like these low aloes with it, and that would be quite a nice combination, and you would get the flowers from the aloe in winter. Now aloes, there's a whole bunch of aloes. You get the ferox, which is that tall single stem candelabra one. You see them on the side of the highway when you drive up to Maritzburg. Those can rot in our wet weather, so be careful when you're planting aloes. Don't put them in a place where they might in the wet season get too wet. A bank is great, a nice hot, the west afternoon sun where other plants often battle is great for aloes. And then in Natal, this aloe arborescens, which is kind of a bush aloe, and you get all these orange flowers coming off it in winter. It's really lovely. That's a good choice to go with it. Then we also have our tree aloes, Aloe barbari. So if you're looking for a tall feature, the tree aloe is great. You can even plant them from a branch. And they're quite forgiving in our wet weather. They don't become sick too much. With aloes, they do get the scale insect on them, which you would need to spray for if you see it. Do it, because otherwise it just gets worse. I haven't yet seen it on the hybrid aloes, I must say, but generally the little white, you get little masses of little white things sitting on the leaves, then you need to spray for scale. Now with the aloes, it's quite nice to contrast with some soft grasses. This is Aristida junciformis, and it's just a really wild soft grass which makes a big clump, and when it's too overgrown you just chop it down at the bottom and let it grow up and it'll be neat again. So that contrasted with the fat aloe leaves is a nice texture change. And then I love to use this, which is not actually indigenous, Sedum Golden Glow. It grows reasonably fast and you can just break pieces off and it grows, and that just gives you a nice contrast of the yellow. This is another low-growing aloe, not a hybrid, Aloe Shabaudi. In winter, flowers with these orange stems all over, and also if spreads, makes babies. That's really great for winter. And then these Kalanchoe thriciflora gets these nice big fat round leaves with the red tips. It's just really different and interesting. And then you can contrast it with this Portulacaria over here, this is a ground cover variety and a bit golden in color, but I'm going to show you the bush one, which is a really magnificent plant. This is the bigger version, Portulacaria afra. It's also called elephant's food or speckboom. It's a plant that is said to take more, or at least the same amount of carbon out of the air that a And it's a great plant because it clips into formal boxes and balls and anything like that. So if you want to make a formal garden with indigenous plants, this is an important plant to get to know. Portula carrier Afra speckworm, and that's the ground cover version of it. Then we have this family of mother-in-law's tongues. It's a big family. It starts with this elephant toothpick here, which is such an interesting, different textured and shaped plant that's useful to use. And then it comes down to the ground cover, which is also grows in shade and sun. And then you get like a middle one that's got light-colored leaves, and then a medium one, and you get a taller one like that. So the mother-in-law tongue Sansevieria family have got lots of different leaf patterns and colors that are interesting to work with. Then this is a very good ground cover because in Durban, a lot of the Feihi family go off in the wet season. This Raskia or Ruchia, however you want to pronounce it, always stays tight and neat, and I find that it lasts fairly well and gets little pink flowers, but it's mainly grown just because it's tight and neat and on the floor. And then gazania for dry conditions. This is great for banks. There's the grey-leafed one and the green-leafed one. That's uniflora and Rigens. Are really useful water-wise plants. That's it for today. These are my favorite water-wise combinations, and I hope you guys will take them and go and do some lovely things in your garden.